Hello and greetings from Iceland. I'm starting this volcano and earthquake update with the so-called Icelandic spring here in the north. It is a bit white, not what I hoped for, so I could hardly open my car door yesterday when I could finally visit my dentist after 2 cancellations during my stay in the south, waiting for the volcanic eruption that never started. I also had to cancel my car repair, so I have a new appointment there on Wednesday. It is going to take at least 1 day to replace a few parts, so it better not start erupting while it's being fixed. But a volcanic eruption, it might not be the case after all. One of our fine professors, Þorvaldur Þórðarson, was just saying that all bets are off when it comes to the eruption that we have been waiting for, since the tools that we have been using so far to predict eruptions with good accuracy, they are just not working as they used to. So what we are getting is just more uncertainty, more plans on hold as we're getting the town going again. But we don't need an expert to see that we have unusual seismic activity on the peninsula now, and actually elsewhere in Iceland as well. And the most interesting earthquake this week was the magnitude 3.5 in Trölladyngja volcano. And although this is close to Grindavík, it was not enough to shake things up and get the magma going from Svartsengi and up to those craters. And I have mentioned this location by Trölladyngja and Keilir before, since the situation there actually never got back to normal after the first 3 eruptions between 2021 and 2023. And this location is also where we have detected increased ground temperature. So the question has sometimes popped up. Was the 3rd and last eruption there at this location, the so-called Litli Hrútur eruption, just the beginning of something more in this region? But I can also put it like this: is the magma reservoir knocking on the doors there because there is some obstacle where those last 7 eruptions took place? And we have to bear in mind that all those 10 eruptions, they all came from the same source. So I would very much like to know how the plumbing system under there looks. And some of our experts, they expect the eruptions to move west from Grindavík after the chapter up there by those craters is over. But using earthquake plots, I would place my bet on that area. But the only sure thing is that there is only more uncertainty now, since sometimes I feel as we know less about these events than when they started. And less than 2 months ago, we were somehow under the impression that we had this covered with modern technology. But now it seems as we know less. But what is really going on under there is impossible to say. But it has to be something that is keeping the magma reservoir from pressurizing. I think that is a logical guess. And if it would be pressurizing seriously, I assume that we would detect more earthquakes. And I hope that we will hear more from the experts soon. They have not been saying much recently. And before I end this short update, I want to mention the so-called Tjörnes fracture zone here in the north. It has been teasing us a bit on the plate boundaries, and I'm mentioning this now because I often get questions when the seismic activity picks up there, since there are so many people watching the seismometers now. There is nothing drastic happening there. The 1-year earthquake plot, it always looks something like this. So I would be way more surprised if I would not see any earthquakes there for days. But this area is, however, in intensive care. There is enough built-up tension there for a magnitude 7, and this is a part of one of those faults there, where it runs through the town of Húsavík. It is very impressive, and studies around there, they show tectonic displacement of such scale that only a magnitude 7 plus earthquake could have caused that. But lucky us, earthquakes of such magnitude are not frequent in our country, and our houses are well built in most cases. But we are, however, not quite sure how large the earthquakes in Iceland can get. But the official emergency response plan, it does, however, expect an earthquake up to magnitude 7. And the earthquakes this week, they were just within the abnormal norm on the plate boundaries in the north. And despite this uptick in seismic activity on the Reykjanes Peninsula, it's not enough to make me jump into the car and take off. 3 tours so far was quite enough. But I am, however, ready to take off with a short notice until next Wednesday, at least. That will for sure be a difficult day for me if the volcano would erupt while the car is being fixed, since Mother Earth can be sarcastic, especially when she knows that I have got my cameras ready. But I will at least be ready the next 4 days, at least. I have not unpacked fully since my last tour. And with that, I'm sending you best regards from the volcano island, Iceland.